Thank you so much, Dr. Kathir Zara, for explaining in a wonderful way. You discussed in a very detail about the China's economic models, different models, and then comparison and all that. And your special focus was on special economic zones and how we can learn from China. So it was very informative discussion, your talk. And now we are moving towards our panel discussion. So we will be moving towards Syed Shamsul Hassan, who will be moderating the panel today. So Syed Shamsul Hassan, he is also a sinologist. So over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Musawwar Tanoli. Thank you, Madam Tathir Zara. You talked about the Chinese economic model and how Pakistan can adopt one of its model of its own kind. You talked about many interesting things, and you pointed something very important. And you said that why Pakistan as a graveyard of special economic zones. And that's very intriguing and deep statement. But you yourself reflected upon it, and you said that you pointed what is the elephant in the room. So elephant in the room is political instability.
Exactly.
That is very rightly pointed out.
Yeah.
So moving on with this conversation, just for the students of China studies, what was the impetus? What was the basic ideology that Deng Xiaoping, who is also called the architect of modern China, came up with this indigenous model? You know, what did he said? He said, black cat, white cat, doesn't matter as long as it can catch the mice. Now for the students,
exactly. That's the beautiful thing which is said by him.
Yeah. So what is the black cat and what is the white cat? Dear students, Deng Xiaoping said that we shouldn't be confused about communism or socialism. We should be focused on our output. As long as any model that can bring prosperity to our people and happiness and prosperity and economic growth to our system, and our people can be lifted out of the poverty, we have to follow that model. So the result, like what cat do, it catch mice. So it doesn't matter what color it is. Secondly, the important thing, Chinese economic model was export-driven model. And as Madam highlighted that special economic zones, like what did special economic zones did to Chinese export-driven model? They started to manufacture anything that they could. Like in late 90s, you would have seen China bicycles in Pakistan, they were coming, then toys, and anything that they could manufacture, they would send to international markets. And there was they would trade in dollars, like now we do, like for the freelancers. You make a logo of $5 and you get more than 1,000 rupees. So similar advantage was at that time with Chinese manufacturers. So it was export oriented, as Madam said, a manufacturing model. So, and one another thing, after Jiang Zemin took over, he spread this infrastructure, roads, railways, and that also connected China, entire China, initially internally. Now you can see China is trying to connect with its western part. Like one of the conversation of these sessions was about Xinjiang, and you can see Xinjiang is now prospering, and it has become pivot of the Belt and Road Initiative.
Exactly.
Okay, we have a bunch of very good speakers. So if Hina Habib is here, I will give her the floor, and then she can further elaborate on it. and then we will reflect on it while we conclude this session. Ms. Hina Habib, if you're here, the floor is yours.
I'll start inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. This is Hina Habib once again. I'm in research associate. So here we are today learning from China. As we know that, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. You can continue. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with the very comprehensive presentation of yours. It was very learned and it was very comprehensive. Thank you. I think it's a fresh wave in the circle at the moment because you are the only woman after me among the panelists or a speaker. So I welcome you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So rise of China definitely is a major, as a major political and economic or security or player is an inspiration for different countries, especially the governance system. Similarly, Pakistan is also feeling that we should learn from the success story of China. So I think, yes, there's Najmul Hassan Saab already said that the key, Shamsul Hassan Saab already said that the key lessons are basically is that the China has developed itself as an export high-tech economy. And what they did that they were very vibrant about it, and they install a vibrant system for that as well. And what they did, there is the high quality institutions they've launched, and they took the initiatives like they planned well and they experimented in a large scale, in a small scale, and then implemented that small scale planning and lessons from that small scale in a very larger scale, and avoided the negative things. That small scale experimentations has given them the opportunity to install the things in a larger scale without negative things. So they experimented a lot, and that experiment helped them a lot as well. The mention of the SEZs, as was already mentioned by Dr. Saiba. So they developed in the science and technology. They developed strong links among universities, among industrial sectors, and high-tech industries. Basically, all the change they have installed successfully, they started from 1978, and there was a remarkable growth since that. 11% of GDP increase. In early 1979, what they did that they recognized the importance of change. the importance of bringing a change. So they didn't hesitate to bring that change. And what they did, that they sent 50 Chinese students to United States at that time in 1979. And then in later, when their president visited America, there were 125 Chinese were in America with a student visa, and then that got extended in 1984. 14,000 students were studying there. So physical science or engineering, everything, they were studying, attending every American university. So they didn't hesitate to bring that change. They brought that change in because it was required. So 1979 marked a reopening of connections, and then after that, the decades of change and experiments, and then implementations of planning that was there. So China started huge investment in the manpower development in 1970s, and as I already said, that they gave opportunity to students. And in 1985, the Central Committee of Chinese Communist Party brought reforms in science and technology management system that was established in China. So they integrated the universities and research institutions. That is very important. We are also trying this in Pakistan, but in a very small scale. And the research institutions and universities in Pakistan are linked, but not well linked. And we need to bring that thing in Pakistan as well. So the Chinese government has encouraged institutes to undertake their own private working and consultations. So they made a huge number of highly qualified scientific manpower to Chinese industry, and that greatly helped in manufacturing and exporting high-tech technology. As a result, they established a Chinese Academy of Science and Public Sector Institutes in 90s. So another important step that was taken by China in 92 under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping, special efforts were initiated in the foreign direct investment into China, with a focus on acquisition of advanced technologies. So in 1995, there was a decision to accelerate scientific technology progress. In 99, there was a decision on strengthening technological innovations and developing high technology. So what they did, they year by year or 5 years, they initiated a plan and then implemented on that plan successfully without any hesitation, which they introduced investment, taxation, exemptions, and in the development sectors. And they reduced the 6% value-added taxes on software developed products in China, and they have given subsidies and installed the models, the successful models in like Shanghai and Shenzhen. So we are doing studies on Shenzhen and Shanghai, and then now in Xinjiang as a successful example of a transformation, a westward movement that was done by China, a successful movement. They said that it was required, so they did what required. Technological skills and latest education plans, as we know, was the top priority of China, and definitely that is the knowledge and education and trained workers that is a key of growth. And we need to bring that possibilities, that how can we bring that things in Pakistan. We can take the utilize the and exploit the opportunities definitely given by the CPEC, but what we lack is that we lack in the planning and skills to utilize and exploit that opportunity offering by the CPEC like project in Pakistan. Can we do the similar things that China has done to their ports, through its port city? And can we bring that infrastructure and transformation in Gwadar or Karachi? So we need to look into such possibilities, definitely. But Pakistan, like China, need to bring up export opportunities, and balance of payment is our problem. We have to reduce that gradually, bringing infrastructure and production inside Pakistan, and brain drain brain drain is a big problem of Pakistan. So we need to stop that as well. How we can give the opportunity to our youth in Pakistan. Anything I'm saying at the moment, it's not new, but unfortunately, the problem is that we have been saying this for years and years, but we're not learning and implementing it. And there is a problem, and for me, that problem I'll discuss at the end of this thing. We need to bring a self-sufficiency model, and unfortunately, even in Pakistan, we are unable to address the issues of the basic necessities: food, shelter, and clothing. So mainstreaming of female, I think it is very important as well. So I'll understand. I'll give you an example how China mainstream its female population. Under a centrally planned system, China made significant achievement in gender equality or mainstreaming of female. If not equality, then mainstreaming of female is a very important. Half of a century later, China has joined rank of upper middle income countries, and decades of rapid growth have accompanied major structural changes in the economy. So as the father of China, or Mao Zedong, famous phrase, he said that Chinese woman holds up half of the sky, symbolize an official commitment to gender mainstreaming dating back several decades. Indeed, in the early 1980s, when China was among one of the poorest countries in the world, its achievement in female human development outcome indicator and genders mainstreaming surpassed those in many middle income countries. So women development rate, they progressed in the women development employment rate. They brought the women in education, and the education level has improved. They brought 11 they brought 5 yearly programs, and it was their 11th 5-year program, national economic and social development. For the first time, they implemented full implementation of gender equality policy and women development program. So as a female, I've said that it is very important to bring the female mainstreaming of females is very important in general goals and important parts of building a harmonious society. So Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah was a man ahead of his time, and what he said that he both men and women to put in their best efforts to convert the vision into reality. And Qaeda about women empowerment, he said, no nation achieves anything unless the women go side by side with men, even to the battlefield. So for him, it was clear that if we have to move forward as a nation, so men and women must work together in harmony, each contributing to unique talents and betterment of society. So like her sister, he took her sister Fatma Jinnah, and she was side by side with him in the political sphere. So it is very important. Like in the global initiative of United Nations as a part of sustainable development, we know that the empowerment of women was very important. Social science, social and economic uplifting of women is very important. And China has done the small and medium-sized enterprises they installed, and through that, their number of women in the corporate sectors were increased. So health and education institutions and health and education opportunities provided to women is very important. Secondly, the Chinese model of poverty alleviation, that is very important, and we can learn from that as well. What they did, that they brought the rural and urban programs and reforms in that sectors separately. So they deal that thing separately. Urban administration, they made policies for the separate, and then they made rural programs policies separate, and then they took the finances from the central government for those programs as well. So the poor individuals with no sustainable source of income or capability to work, and without any guardian, they address those things with these programs, and then they facilitate the poor and health education as well. So they've given the job opportunities to rural areas and urban administration, and the special program of westward movement. The theory behind was that movement also was to give opportunities to the less developed areas or underdeveloped areas. The food, they also provided food for work program they installed as well to the rural areas. So Pakistan need to keep in mind, as a Pakistani, I think the big elephant that you have discussed is the political instability. For me, the big elephant, I think, is the identity clash. Unfortunately, identity clash with that have associated the individuals to a certain identity, and not, unfortunately, we are not much more associated with the word Pakistan. So that Pakistanis need to be awakened in Pakistan more. That think that we need to come out of our small affiliations with a large affiliation, and that large affiliation is our country, Pakistan. I think with that we can come out of our problems, and with that we can achieve political stability or planning and division. Planning, I think, should be indifferent of these affiliations, and we need to come out of such things for the better Pakistan, or for the progressive Pakistans. The crisis we are dealing at the moment requires that we need to deal that crisis efficiently with the large programs. I think we lack in this statistical analysis as well. We lack in planning, and what we achieved in the Ayub era, the planning, the proper planning, and the 5-year planning, and after that planning, results were discussed, the successes were discussed, the progress and challenges were discussed. We are, as it I think, at the administrative level, we're not achieving those things again. We need to bring that planning back again, and definitely political stability can help in that. Without political stability we cannot achieve this, but we need to address that issue according to our needs. We cannot implement the Chinese model totally here in Pakistan, but definitely we can implement with certain requirements that our society need, or infrastructure, or Pakistani basic problems we can address after considering the problems of Pakistan, and we can learn from the Chinese less successful story of China as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Hina Habib. You always bring fresh air to our conversations, and you talked about many things.
Okay, well, I want to take this opportunity to just thank you to Mr. Azim Saab and Musawwir for giving me this opportunity, because I think this has helped a lot. Helped a lot. So I think this opportunity and this thing should be continue, and I'll definitely appreciate them for this. And I just want to be a part of any such opportunity in future as well. And I'm very thankful to you, to the organizers and the participants as well. Thank you.